It's been a busy year for Manchester City. As well as adding a sixth title in 10 seasons, signing one of the best young players in the world and working to extend Pep Guardiola's stay at the Etihad, their parent company, the City Football Group, have been busy behind the scenes, closing a deal to bring Palermo into their family of football clubs, as well as advancing negotiations to acquire Brazilian side Bahia. That brings CFG's portfolio to a total of 11 teams: Man City, Melbourne City, New York City, Yokohama F Marinos, Montevideo City Torquay, Girona, Sichuan Jiuniu, Mumbai City, Lommel SK, Troyes and Palermo. But as CFG and their owner Sheikh Mansour expand their reach into yet another country, the main question confronting fans is why? What do CFG gain from purchasing yet another team? What does their network of sides across the world offer them? And how is Palermo different from the clubs they've bought before? On today's EFD Explained, we're looking into the strategy behind football's newest empire. While the majority of the clubs in CFG's portfolio are relatively new, Palermo are something altogether different. At 121 years old, they are the sixth oldest team in Italy and the most venerable in the south of the country, and enjoy an international reputation in the football community, having previously boasted stars like Edinson Cavani, Luca Toni and Paulo Dybala in their ranks. But the Sicilian outfit had fallen on hard times of late. In 2017 they finished 19th in Serie A and were relegated to the second tier, and after losing in the playoff final the following season as they aimed to return to the top flight at the first attempts, their finances slowly caved in. The team changed hands 3 times in a year, with multiple investors shocked by the scale of money mismanagement at the Stadio Renzo Barbera. And when they eventually submitted their formal application to play in Serie B again, they did so without a current insurance policy, prompting the Italian authorities to exclude them from all professional football in the country. Restarted in Serie D as a Phoenix club, much like Glasgow Rangers, Palermo won promotion in their first campaign of the new era, and were then promoted again after 2 years in the third tier, meaning that this autumn they will once again compete in Serie B. That meant it was perfect for the City Football Group to swoop in, acquiring an 80% stake in the club for a reported €13 million. CFG have wasted no time in talking up the move, with City CEO Ferran Soriano even hinting Pep Guardiola could manage the Rossonero, saying Pep asked if it's sunny in Palermo, perhaps he will work here one day, he knows everything we do and he knows Italian football well. Like the others, he is excited about the deal. Somehow we don't see that happening, but what's certain is that CFG have big plans for Palermo, so why did they make this move? CFG aren't the only organisation which owns multiple football clubs. There are family groups like the Pozzi who own Udinese, Watford and Granada, while individuals like Israeli billionaire Edan Offer hold shares in several teams, in his case Portuguese outfit for Millicao and Atletico Madrid. But the most high-profile rival to CFG's sporting empire is that of Red Bull, who now run 7 teams across 5 different countries. And in some ways, City Football Group's work has similarities to the energy drink titans. While plenty of football teams actually lose money year on year, relying on the value of future TV deals and commercial sponsorships to increase their valuation even as cash reserves dwindle, Red Bull approach their clubs as money-making propositions. They trust that they can recruit talent cheaply, use their network of European clubs to build their reputation and marketability, then sell them on at a huge markup. Having clubs across the world increases the reach of their scouting, and they also work to establish links with academy, for example in Guinea and Mali, again producing a bigger pool of players, meaning more talent and more profit. And for the most part, City do the same thing. Speaking at the 2017 World Football Summit, CFG's Director of Operations Development, Don Dransfield, outlined the overarching strategy simply. In very practical terms, we're able to have more scouts in more places who are watching more games of more players and collecting better data and information to allow us to be able to make better investment decisions on those players. To illustrate his point, Dransfield used the example of Aaron Moy, who moved from Western Sydney Wanderers to Melbourne City, one of CFG's teams, then went on to Man City, who subsequently loaned him out to Huddersfield, who eventually bought him outright. City didn't spend a penny to acquire the midfielder and made an £8 million profit on him. That's more money than CFG paid to buy Melbourne City themselves, and as The Athletic noted earlier this year, the group leverages expiring contracts or other clubs' financial difficulties to close deals quickly and for below market rate, further increasing their profit margin. The setup even helped City get around Brexit, with players who could not get a UK work permit able to join one of their other sides instead, meaning the Sky Blues could get them for a knockdown rate later on if they explode. However, there's another level to City's plan. Red Bull understand that RB Leipzig is their flagship club. They play in the best league with the most visibility, and so all of RB's best players across their global network slowly get funneled there. But Leipzig still work the same way as their sister teams, just on a different scale. They make business decisions, not emotional ones, meaning that even their best players are always for sale. A policy which has seen Keita, Werner, Sabitzer, Konate and Upamecano leave East Germany over the last half-decade. But within City Football Group, Manchester City enjoy a very special position. While the rest of the group's sides are run fairly modestly, with a focus on smart recruitment, smart sales and the occasional tactical loan from the highly regarded City Academy, the Citizens operate at an enormous loss, with a net spend of close to €1 billion over the last 10 years. Almost 3 times as much as rivals Liverpool over the same period, and only trailing Manchester United in world football. That's such a huge sum it's impossible to make it back, as even if they'd won the Champions League every year in that time, they would still be down around £500 million. In fact, according to Stefan Szymanski, the writer of Soccernomics, quoted in The Athletic, CFG have spent over £1 billion on Man City in purchase fee and transfers since 2008, and now the club is valued at £2 billion. But, quote, if you'd put £1 billion into the Nasdaq in 2008, your investment would have been worth $5.7 billion by the end of 2019. So it's not exactly a profitable enterprise, and if the numbers don't add up, why continue pouring money into the team? We're sorry to say that we don't think it's because Sheikh Mansour has a love for the club which stretches back to the Richard Dunn days. Instead, it seems he sees CFG as a global feeder system for City, and City as an asset whose chief goal is not trophies but polishing its owner's reputation. You only need to watch episode 6 of Amazon Prime's All or Nothing to see that prestige for City is intended to filter back to the United Arab Emirates, with the show focusing heavily on the sunny Abu Dhabi skyline as Pep Guardiola reverentially shakes hands with Mansour. Owning Man City is a statement of power for the Sheikh, and his investment in the club continues to garner positive news stories and fan sentiments for both him and his nation, drawing a shiny veil over the UAE's record on human rights, migrant workers and Yemen. But Palermo could complicate things. By and large, CFG's forays into football have been met with little resistance. Yes, they've faced a few fines over their transfer dealings, but these punishments are minor in the context of Sheikh Mansour's wealth, and UEFA have grown weaker, not stronger, in their position on so-called financial doping. They've even found a way around their own rules on keeping the sports competitive, allowing RB Leipzig and Red Bull Salzburg to face each other in the 2018-19 Europa League, a precedent that City can now rely on if any of their other clubs eventually reach the UCL. It seems that multi-club ownership is no longer a serious concern. However, Palermo is not like other acquisitions. An historic side with a culture steeped in football, the Achille and their fans will not take well to being turned into a feeder club for Man City, but are too small to merit the same financial freedom the Citizens enjoy. So while we'd expect the next few years to be a happy union, as CFG's cash and scouting network help Palermo regain their place in Serie A, the relationship could be destined for trouble in the long term if it becomes clear that they are a minor part of CFG's sporting project rather than its beating heart. Ultimately, City Football Group doesn't really make money, and if it did, it probably wouldn't be enough to make a difference to someone as rich as Sheikh Mansour. Instead, the aim is to increase both his and Abu Dhabi's sphere of influence, to give them an outsized role in one of the world's biggest and most beloved sports, and create strategic relationships between the UAE and other countries, which can help the Gulf nation's ruling family retain its grip on power. Palermo looks like the next step in that journey, but at some point, football needs to wonder where the path ultimately leads. So that was our explainer on why Manchester City keep on buying football clubs, but what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and subscribe to Eurofootball Daily if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.